You're aware of the saying Whole Foods, more like whole paycheck.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Our presenting sponsor today, Amazon, Whole
Yeah.
Foods. No, that's not our sponsor. It's not our
Mhm.
sponsor. They should be, Lord knows. But the
We have burrito bar
preamble.
takes. Yeah, we'll save
Oh,
that for another pod. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still early. Yeah,
Yeah.
and well, people say Whole Foods, whole paycheck, and that's not wrong, right? Like you spend a shit ton of money there for a
Mhm.
small amount of things. But have you ever heard of this new kind of scam that they're doing now called public markets?
What's that?
So you'll go to a big space, right? Perhaps there's housing on top of it. Big metropolitan cities have this now. It might just be a West Coast thing, but I feel like they're making their way. I was in Nevada and they had one of these.
Yeah.
Big public space, shopping center, but it's a public market. And where there's like 8 different small like independent restaurants in one little market, and then there's like a
Yeah.
bar in the middle. You've probably seen them.
Yeah.
Portland has to have some of these.
Yeah.
They're great. I think it's a great concept. God, they use that opportunity to charge an arm and a leg. And when I say public market, more like my checking account is public to
Yeah.
like public domain. My checking account is public
Yeah.
domain now because Lord, I went to
And what's your PIN number? Yeah, let me just write that down.
Oh, it's insane.
From the 5 to the 6, we be in the mix with that rare candy paint job on the whip. I need food for the kids, money for the rent. Fuck a lockdown, baby, I can't do that shit. And I don't never vote, cause I'm fucking broke. And either way, I know the police ain't gon' leave me alone. On a plane by the visit Glen Rock, need crypto, told me I should bring the Glock with me. So I packed up my piece and I'm sliding. Cause we might get caught up in a riot. Middle finger Trump, middle finger Biden. Fuck a left, fuck a right, is you riding? Know you love to see it, dudes rocking. Ain't no politics, baby, we just talking. From the birds to the bricks, we be in the mix with that rare candy paint job on the whip. Who you with?
Like they hand you like a buzzer and stuff. This is a public market. Like
Yeah.
the other one too. I'll walk you through this experience because Lord knows people love when I walk through a mundane experience to open the show. But
Subscribe to the Patreon.
yeah,
Substack.
yeah. There's like 10 restaurants. There's like it's very diverse and in a good diverse. There's like a Salvadorian food, a barbecue place, bao buns. You know, all sorts of stuff.
Your favorite,
but exactly. Yeah, no, we there was a bunch of men with painted nails getting that over there. But there was a one that I was just like, you know what? I don't really eat a lot of like just regular old hamburgers anymore. I was like, fuck, that sounds really good. I'm gonna go get a hamburger and some onion rings. I was like, this sounds great.
That sounds great. Yeah.
That just sounds incredible. And I go and I get it and I look at the thing. Immediately everything's a la carte now.
Yeah.
And that's everywhere. That's everywhere. Like everything's
and the cart is $8 onion rings too. It's like fucking.
You literally you might have been exaggerating. No joke. The onion rings were $8.
Yeah.
$16 hamburger.
Yeah.
Then $8 onion rings, and like I had the $20 bill in cash on me. Like I was kind of like, oh cool, I don't have to use like my card here. Like, you thought, like put a check cashing place near you or something. Like God. So I go and I order it and it's like dead in there, right? It's dead. And I immediately they go, and can I give a name? Yeah, I give them the name. They're like, can I get a phone number? I'm like, really? We have to get the phone number?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we'll text you when your order's ready. I'm like, I'm just gonna be standing here and you saw me order it. So I don't think that's gonna be an issue.
Yeah.
Whatever. So they're like, I ordered that and they're like, did you want to add anything? I'm like, oh yeah, I'd love to spend more money. And then and then they're like, would you like to add ranch? I'm like, ranch's money?
Yeah, no. Yeah.
And like it's like Blade Runner and shit. Like this is like 100%. Insane. And so then
it's like mayonnaise. It's fucking, it's crazy.
You know, do you charge for what the herbs? The herbs are in there? Is that what's this? Yeah. And so then I look down and it says to go box is 50 cents for a to-go box.
Yeah.
Which
Jesus, I will say, this place is like that. Yeah.
I will say, as a man, if you're getting a to-go box, just hide it. Because I would anytime I see a guy, I'd be like, "Ooh, can I get the to-go box?" I'm always like,
yeah. There's no way to clutch it in a high tea way.
Older men, it's fine. Like older men, as you get older, like you can't eat as much and stuff like that. But like guys like our age, I'm just like, damn, dude, come on,
it,
like
dude.
knock it out. Yeah, you're gonna have to finish your ladies' meal later.
Exactly.
This is why we die younger.
Yeah.
And but
it's worth it. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So I get it, and it's good. Tastes good. I mean, it definitely didn't taste like $24 worth, but again, it's good. But also I was talking to my mom and she brought up a good point about that. She goes, yeah, I hate that too. But I think these places distance themselves from fast food so much. And they're like, this isn't fast food. We don't have value menus. We don't have combo meals. And it's like, well, you should. I mean, I'm eating, it's the same caloric value, if not more. And then they make the burgers extra sloppy to justify it.
Yeah.
Where like the burgers just slopped all together with all this like, it's very tough
out the side.
Yeah. Like I don't want a fried egg. Sorry. I don't need pork belly and a fried egg on the burger. Like I understand why you're charging me $20, but like they do this thing to like justify the price. And then last thing on it, brioche.
Oh, brioche buns.
We need to put a stop to brioche until we figure out what's going on.
There should be a hard line at ciabatta. Like that's the fanciest, hard ciabatta line. Yeah,
because brioche is it's like cloud storage bread. Like it's not real. Like I don't think it's not real. It's like I
also
just
it tastes like you're eating like a fucking burger on French toast too.
I know. They say this like it's supposed to be, and there's always like a brioche. No, dude, you don't even understand. Here's how you make the brioche. No, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about what big brioche has to spin this with. Because I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan.
You know what goes hard? Like a good pretzel bun, I will fuck with, dude. A good pretzel
bun. That's a happy medium. I'll give you that. It still doesn't. It still never feels necessary, dude. I understand it's seed oils and not good, but like, give me the sesame seed bun.
Yeah,
just give me the classic sesame or a potato.
Just dough conditioners conditioned with amylase enzyme, so it's all soft as a pillow. Like fucking
wrap it in foil, and I want it to be something I can grab on the go and eat. And it was that was awful. And then by the way, also on the way, like a lot of times at work we don't have like restrooms there, so we have to go to like fast food restaurants and stuff to use the bathroom. I always like to scan the prices. That shit's not cheap anymore.
No, I was gonna bring that up. Your tweet on that was crazy because that's so true. Because I never go to fast food, but I'll look at ads or like I'll drive by and look at people in Taco. Yeah, like 3 tacos from Taco Bell is like $13 now. It's like Austin city limits prices or some shit. Dude.
Right?
It's like fucking what?
But that was always everyone's excuse. They're like, oh yeah, like this is total bullshit food. But it's like honestly, like I'm not spending that much for like a salad and stuff. And you're just like, well, you kind of are now. And
it's crazy, dude. And it's weird. And I get, the inflation thing's hard. And I've always worked in food and stuff and like, restaurants and shit like that. And I'm just wondering, because the owners complain, they're like, oh, these prices are out of control, blah, blah, blah. And then the wage laborers aren't making shit, so it's like no one's making any money on this. But I do think the owners, not to get all like fucking leftists on the pod, but like the owners, I think they're used to like, well, got to make 150K this from this business. And it's like, they're just used to that kind of lifestyle. They're not willing to cut anything down on their end. So they just, and by the way, like that fancy restaurant you go to uses the cheapest fucking Cisco food you could possibly imagine. It's insane. It's crazy, dude. It's all a facade. It's hilarious.
It's harrowing when you're at your when you see the delivery truck pull into the restaurant you're eating at, and you're like, "Fuck, for real?" Like
100%.
Like, okay, great. Like, because really, what you want to see is you want to see a fisherman be like, "I caught something!" Like coming up to the thing, and it's like still
wearing the yellow jacket and shit.
Ahoy, matey!
I was talking one of my plant-based buddies up here. We were joking that the best thing to do, especially if you're vegan or plant-based, is to hit that cycle. It'll only last like 2-3 years. So those vegan restaurants where the owners are still like, I'm just gonna make food really cheap and try and be good and feed everyone, but then they go out of business in like 2 years. So you just hit those on a cycle and you just keep rotating around to all the ones that are like the ones with heart, but they'll never make any money and they'll go bankrupt in like a year and a half. So that's the way to do it for sure.
The temptation for them to start that business will always be there. It's the bleeding heart plant-based guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Not serving
always.
bleeding hearts, actually.
No.
He's
Yeah.
he's not
only
actually
one bleeding heart here, and it's in mine.
Yeah. This animal product is bringing you non-animal products.
Yeah.
We're gonna get you right back to the episode, but I just wanted to let you guys know of a few other things we offer at Rare Candy Industries. We have a Substack with free and paid subscription options. Free subscribers get access to all written content. That includes Bob's Red Pill. That's the best thing going on the internet right now. Trust me. Paid subscribers get full access to our premium episode feed. And that's just every episode we don't necessarily want to share with the general public, if you know what I'm saying. Again, that's rarecandy.substack.com. We also have merch. That link's a little long for me to say right now, but go to the description, go to our merch store, and find a shirt that's right for you. We have Rare Candy shirts, Dr. Bronner soap label shirts, Rishi mushroom shirts, all types of stuff there. Check it out. There's got to be something for you. And lastly, check us out on social media. On Instagram, we're Rare Candy Pod, but on Twitter, we're at Rare Candy Pod 1. All right, enough of that. Let's get you back into the episode.
No, the burgers are out of control though, and and burritos are something that, because there used to be a good $8-9 burrito, which was huge. Burritos should be huge. It should be like a fucking baby.
Oh yeah,
you should struggle to finish it, even as a man.
Regret it immediately.
And, yeah. But now they have the $14 one that's half the size. Yeah, and it's like they cut it in half, and it's like, no, you shouldn't be able to cut it in half. That's too small. If you're able to cut it in half, it's too small.
Also, if you're gonna be gay about it, don't let me watch you make it. By the way, with the bar, like, don't let me watch the misery take place. Where you count the black beans.
Oh
and like they toss the little fucking. Hey, come on.
Well, remember our secret spot that my dad hipped me to, and then where it's like Mexican ladies in the back, and if you get like a burrito, you say like no arroz, no frijoles, no beans, no rice. They will replace that amount with extra meat at no additional charge. Yeah. It's still like $4. It's like total.
That place was crazy because it was kind of like the trial, like where it was like the slat of eyes like come through the window. Like, hello, would you want to? Did you plan on shopping here, like in Spanish and stuff? Yeah, and you're like, 100%. And then you go through like a daycare center, and then there's like a taqueria in the backyard. Yeah, that was sick.
And you don't know what the line. Everyone's waiting, but you're not sure what stage they're at. It's all just like in a weird like pickleball court, like scattering kind of thing. It's fun.
Yep. So a couple items of housekeeping here. We had we did a Mac Dre episode recently, and as that was,
stop thinking about it.
I think it was our magnum opus. It's on the Substack feed, and again, that's rarecandy.substack.com. You get premium episodes and our entire feed, including Gate of Fiction, Coast to Coast, which they started updating the Coast to Coast vault again. So
I was a weird. Paranormal Volume 3 is coming.
Right. So we'll have to get all that. So, and then there's all sorts of fun solo episodes like the one you're listening right now. Those are all on that feed. $5 a month. We do once a week. It's not, we don't alternate like one's free, one's paid. No. This is, you get 4 free, 4 paid a month. We could dominate your whole month there. But we did the Mac Dre episode, which lost subscribers, knew it was going to happen. We were anti-square and we lost some squares. It was such a good episode, but we both left a little bit of meat on the bone. I feel like, right? Like just a little bit, of course, right? 2 hours. It's, the funniest thing is when you do a deep dive on an artist and someone like DMs you, hey, great episode. Surprised you didn't mention it. You're like, I wanted to, trust me. But one thing I wanted to mention about Mac Dre, is that when I read like hard-boiled detective crime from the 50s, or if you watch, Stallone movies or just anything, there's always been that male archetype, the Mario star, invincible male archetype, who the only person that could stop him is himself. But then like, there's also just that kind of like fantasy land for men where it's like, you kind of just want to like be irresistible and talk shit to women all day, but like they still love you, and then 100%. make a bunch of money, do a bunch of drugs, be fucked up all the time with no consequences, right? And women have that same thing too. Like women have like the crazy, like, I mean, that's what Barbies are. I feel like,
version of it. 100%.
Like that's like essentially that, but then they have the grown-up versions of that with whatever the fuck they're into. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But
Was there any when you were 15 years old? Was there any higher ideal than Mac Dre that you wanted? You're like, that's exactly all I want out of life is what he has.
Yeah, because the rap does like scratch that itch like a lot. Like the best rap is like even that's why like conscious rap is like cool for in a vacuum, but like for the most part you're like, no man, I want the delusions of grandeur. I want the flamboyant like insane lifestyle stuff because like I'm driving to work right now, and in these 10 minutes I can kind of like drift off into a ideal world, and that's what the best books do. That's what a lot of things do. So that's what that reminded me of as far as Mac Dre goes. So I don't know. I don't know if you left anything.
No, well, I was thinking. I mean, I literally couldn't stop even thinking about it, and I think I hit you up where I was like, it's a great episode when you crushed it, but there's so much shit you forgot to even say. Where you're just like, I forgot about that one thing, and that's. And didn't we? We lost a few subs like right off the bat with that. Huh?
You never know. It's like
you never know it's correlated. Yeah.
Well, no, and it's also the end of the month. End of the month, there's always people that are like, I
think a few of them were the day before we dropped it, so I wasn't thinking it was totally. But I did think of like a certain type of person that just saw that Substack post was like, nope. It's just, I was like, hell yeah, dude.
They have their like the other tab is like the crime stats of their area, and it's like nah, and then, sorry, not doing that.
Well, again, that's what's funny about like especially rappers from the Bay are like the most crime oriented rappers, and then they're always like, what the fuck, police? Why are you harassing me? It's just such a very, like, come on, guys.
It's a great I mean, that's what I mean, but like you just take it holistically and you're just like, that's what it is, and it's fun. Like you don't need to make it something materially great for the world. Like you don't need to be like, well, this is actually why it's great. It's like, no. Why it's great. Why it's great is because it's just grandiose, like insane, just like
you
spectacle.
Said like Crying of Lot 49, or like was it Pynchon, right?
It's like if Pynchon found a subway vagrant, you know what I mean? Like but a really cool one that could rap. Like it's just this kind of like that's what he reminds me of. So I thought that was interesting. But anyways, everybody definitely check that out. And we also have merch too. We have a merch store, links in the description. But the also, one more thing I wanted to say before we get on with it. We take submissions. Granted, we take forever to post them. That's my problem. But we take submissions for our Substack. So if you got some, it could be short stuff, long form. I really want to make this like a magazine, like a gentleman's magazine, but like, kind of a little trippy and stuff. But we also take fiction short stories. Big Mac McCarthy wrote a short story for us called Betting Dogs. That was wonderful. And a lot of people read that. A lot of people liked it. And we want more. So if you write short stories and we won't print every single one of them, because that's definitely a little more, it's got to hit us. I mean, whether it's good or bad, it's got to hit us in the right way. But like, if you got some short stories, I want to publish more fiction. I mean, we are, if you, the pie chart there, we're at like 18% fiction at this point, like in the thing. Some people would say we're all fiction with our health takes, but I think we're mostly fiction. So please,
Rare a couple Candy, in the wing coming through.
rarecandyindustries@gmail.com. Just send your short stories, DM me, whatever it is. Just send those in. Worst we could say is maybe it's not for us, but for the most part, if you got a good entertaining story, it'll go up. And all right.
Also, now that you got me reading more fiction, I just want to start writing more fiction just to see just for me, just to see
I have
what happens.
So many ideas, and I'm such an ideas guy. I can't write them, but I have so many ideas, like just amazing premises for fiction, especially short stories. So that it would be fun. Be fun. Yeah. So I'm not looking forward to another year of election year, because I think we got November coming up, and then that's going to make it a calendar year before the next election. But I've noticed it's ramped up. It's ramped up. The kind of like political theater has really ramped up. I thought we were dormant for a while as far as like political theater. The Trump derangement, I mean, that's going to be evergreen. That's going to be around for the next 100 years. I mean, that's how you like hit it big as a president, was just when for the next 100 years they talk about you. And I think nobody's going to forget about him ever. I found this clip that I found it really interesting because, like, I'll play the clip in a second, but it's one of those ones where like a boomer. This guy's named Aaron Rupar, who posted this clip. And I don't know if he's a boomer. I don't know anything about him other than his weird Twitter where it's like a close up of him smiling and it's kind of scary. But other than I don't know like what age group he is. I feel like he's actually closer to our age, but is just like a libtard. But like a lot of boomers, they love to catch like Republicans in like a ooh, I thought you were a patriot, man. I thought you supported the troops, man. I thought freedom of speech, man. Like like one of those things. But he posted this clip like it was just an own on Trump, and I was just like, fuck, I think I might vote again. Like when I saw it, like it was really good. Like so I'll play it here. It's about like the military, and it's Trump.
I haven't heard this yet too, so
there you go.
Yeah.
And the problem is, I stopped it because they came to see me. Sir, we have a new fighter jet. We think it's environmentally friendly. I said, who cares if you're dropping bombs all over the place? You're shooting everybody. No, it's true. You're shooting everybody.
What is wrong with that?
Like, sir. I love that.
I know. He had to tone down the like when he was mocking the journalist, like back in the day. Like he had like a way better impersonation.
Yeah.
Like he's got like 6 or 7 back that he has to kind of reel.
No, that is hilarious, and it's true. It's the meme that like Glenn Greenwald always posts of like the fighter jet with the rainbow stripes dropping the fucking peace bombs. That whole like the liberal war machine kind of thing, right?
Well,
and it's like he's like, fuck that, dude. Yes, yeah.
And it is funny. You have like because they love like that. His Aaron Rupar's caption is no Republican should be able to get away with posturing as supporting the troops if they support this guy. And it's just like, is that what people? First off, like
thanks for telling me, what is and isn't acceptable of the people that you claim are your enemies, dude. Like that whole thing, right? You're like. Whereas like he's setting the rules for a group he's not even part of.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. People do that with all types of things. That's the problem with our monoculture kind of. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like, I guess, I don't know if monoculture is the word, but like just this like online thing where everything's for everybody and everyone reacts to everything. Where it's just like, I know what's best for this political group, but it's also like, I'm sorry, like the troops thing, that's not anyone under like 40 does not give a fuck about the military, like at all. Even like Republicans under 40, they just don't. Like I'm sorry, like you talk to them, that's not what our generation is concerned with.
No,
it's not. Like shit is way too expensive right now for us to care about that. And
well, there's also not real wars anymore. It's just like it's just like a bureaucratic.
We're always in war, but like it's not real. Like
it's not real. Yeah.
It's like we're from like the 9/11 generation, like when we were kids, and like even then it was kind of like, we don't need to be like, what are we doing? And
it seemed fake. Even then it was like, really, people are gonna go on a plane to another place and do this thing. It wasn't like World War II or whatever, which you could kind of understand was like, shit.
Yeah. Well, because you're a boomer and you're like, damn, you're like you're well, not a boomer at the time in World War II. Let's say you're like, you got some money at that time and you're just like, I got a fucking house, picket fence. I'm making, like the equivalent of like 150K working for like Pacific Bell, as like at a desk. And did I lose you again?
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. Yeah. It's fucking weird today.
But, like in Pacific, like it'll be like, I'm making 150K working at Pacific Bell. Putting this cable into this slot 50 times a day. And like, let's go fucking take down the world, like I got to preserve this. But for us, we're just kind of like, it's not even that I'm unpatriotic. Like I enjoy living in America. It's not, I'm not one of those people that like wants to go to China really bad or something for whatever reason. And it is funny when people say that, like they're always just like, well, China's, they've got it like better and stuff. And they always scoff when like other people go, well, why don't you just move there? And like people go, let me just uproot my entire family and move to China. I'm like, well, if I thought America was that evil and China was that great, I would spend every waking moment trying to get to China.
Yeah.
Like I would.
People do to come here,
I know. Exactly. I would do that. I would no joke. I would crowdfund. I would pretend to have a fake. I would pretend to have a gender transition that's not real and use that money to move to China. Like I would be like, I have a toxic roommate as a trans woman. And my toxic roommate is capitalism. I'm trying to get to China.
Do the fucking
Xi Jim.
Yeah.
And
XIM.
Yeah, and
separated by dad.
yeah, and
that's just who you were. You just moved to China, and that's who you were.
can you imagine the worst person of all time? That's like your job. It's like we have a new employee, and you're just like fuck, like.
You were gonna Foxconn making iPhones and shit.
It's not even like just like some like it's not even somebody with pronouns who works at like it's just like working class. Like look, just don't pay me any attention. It's like no, it's this guy's going to talk to me about communism all day and pronouns. Yeah, great. And but speaking of which, I think it's Obama and Michelle's anniversary today.
Or is that why I've been seeing a bunch of shit?
Or Michael, if you're hip to it. That rumor, it's like come on, it can't be like right. It can't be true, but also,
man, I don't know, man. It's crazy. The thing is, there's like, okay, when you see the video, like, look at this politician and his eyes turn into the reptile eyes. Like that could easily be faked. I want there to be like reptiles that we can fight and shit. But like the dancing on Ellen, what's in the pants, man? We've all seen those videos. Like what has it ever been explained? Has it ever been explained? And also, man, those kids, it'd be wild if it were true. But it'd be, but also people like that in that level are into some weird shit. Like just hiring surrogates to raise a bunch of kids and living this weird fake life and all that stuff. Those kids don't look like their kids. And I don't have a dog in the fight. I know it's like a big like talking point amongst certain crowds, that whole thing of like it's Michael, but I mean, that'd be crazy if it were fucking true, dude.
I love how the name would be Michael too. Like it's like they picked like the name closest to Michael to go to Michelle.
It's like a he him. It's the same.
And but also like it is weird how little we know about like Obama too. Like he doesn't like every other president has this like detailed history. Like you can read like about every aspect of their life and stuff. And like Obama, it's pretty much just like his mom, like his dad, kind of
Hawaii,
and then,
Columbia, Chicago.
And then like community organizer, red marks to get pussy in college, and then married this beautiful person, and then fixed school lunches, and then nothing else, and just nothing else. And so it's like, why can't we just get a comprehensive report about like Michelle Obama and Barack Obama? Like that I'm sure maybe there are, maybe there are, and I just don't give a fuck. So that's possible. But the funniest thing to me is just like, I'm picturing like, let's say it is true.
Yeah.
Let's say it is true. And it's just like Obama, who's just like, I don't know what year is this, late 90s, early 2000s. I don't know how long they've been married, but like, they're smoking a cigarette after just amazing whatever the fuck they were doing in bed. They were just like the reptile slithering tongues into each other or something, or like plants. I don't know. And they're smoking a cigarette after, and he's just like, Michelle, Michael, Mike, you want a cigarette? It's like we can't do this anymore. We can't. No, man, no, Barack, no, come on, man, no.
Yeah,
like it's like a real, just regular guy's voice. Like, no, we got to do this together. And he's like, well, you're it's then they rock paper scissors, right? Well, who which one does it? Because like that, I could see like,
Obama. Best 2 out of 3, dude. Yeah.
Why does it be me? He does. It's like, like almost scissor. Rock actually.
Okay, got it. I got you. No, rewind the tape. Rewind it.
No, really, it would be a game of horse. But
Steph Curry's like on the sideline at the White House. Oh shit! Yeah, his basketball shit is so cringe, dude. I hate that, dude. Yeah,
it's the worst. But I laugh because I'm like, what? Who's to say that like it wasn't like President Michael, and then Barbara Obama, his wife, or something like who's to say? Barbie Obama. I'm telling you right now, I know 7 people off the top of my head that would vote for Barbie Obama.
Yeah.
It's
crazy, dude. It's crazy. Like you meet like Obama fans, and you're just like, dude, what is going on here, man? It's a weird vibe, dude. It's like I don't understand if there's like I don't know. It's weird, man. Yeah, because it's just there's so much that you have to believe to kind of accept that. I don't know. Yeah.
It's just I think NPR does I think NPR just is I think they hacked into Obama's frequency of his voice. 'Cause that's all anybody actually really liked about him was his voice and speaking ability and his race, of course. But like I think NPR just sounds like Obama when you listen to it now. Like it's just it's just all one frequency of Obama. So like you're just constantly reminded of Obama. Because then you're warned of like the fear of Trump like erasing everything Obama ever did, which based, but you know, so I think that was that's kind of where it is, because I know people who just like are obsessed. They like Michelle Obama will come to the Bay Area and like sell out like the Sharks hockey center to just talk.
Yeah,
he's like,
my
about
favorite,
what?
Yeah,
like
my favorite thing about that, and this kind of ties into actually something I'm passionate about. We both are with food. Was when she was popping off on the school lunches or whatever kind of thing, you know. And then she's like, "We need wholesome food." And she's like, "We should go organic. We should get rid of the GMOs." And then they're kind of like coalesced, like, "Nope, no. Actually, we're gonna reel you." They like reeled her back in, you know.
Yeah,
because I was like, you can't be a president and say that you're pro organic, because it's just not part of the plan, right? You know, so it's for like a splits for like I think like 2 weeks she was saying that shit, and they slammed that down hard on her. And then there was this huge psyop. I remember I was like reading in magazines and shit. The head chef of Obama was like he was like this famous chef dude in some other right or something. I think he was like some Mexican or Latino dude, and and they were quoting him, and he's like, "Yeah, I just love Monsanto." You know what I mean? Like, you know, we need them to do the heavy lifting, and
it sizzles in the pan.
Yeah,
the way it sizzles, it reminds me of home. GMO.
Yeah, and it's M stands for Mexico.
Yeah, Gangsta Mexico.
But I remember like, dude, they were covering. So I remember seeing it, and I had those fucking conspiracy glasses on and off. You know, They Live that guy. You know, and I was just like, oh, that's what this is. They're covering up for the mistakes that people were trying to get on some actual good food shit, and they had to cover that up.
Yeah, you know, Michelle was probably like, "Oh, these GMOs. I mean, that doesn't seem like a good way to do it." You know, and then Barack just dumps Roundup on her head.
Yeah,
fucking, like a coach after a fucking Super Bowl. Shut up. Yeah.
That's like Democrats aren't down with like good food anymore. You know, they're not down with.
That's something we've really snuffed out. I mean, like I said, everybody is all about just eating like fat plates of fucking barbecue all day, but like. No, that's the thing about, I will say Republicans nail that about Democrats is like they find the way to like co-opt something like whatever and then make it 10 times more expensive and like with smaller portions.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you by buying this you planted a tree.
Yeah.
Like just some stupid shit like that. I remember there was like a textbook company that was like that. I'm like, can you show me the tree?
And they're always talking about I need to see this tree.
Show me the tree.
Yeah.
That was like when my parents my parents, like our family dog died, Coco. She lived like till like 18. Like she was old. And we like when she died, you know, they cremated or whatever, and they like my parents like signed up for this thing with like, they're gonna take her out to like Napa Valley and like scatter it into this like beautiful vineyard. I'm like, they're gonna dump it off the side of Highway 85. Like they are not putting the dog's ashes in Napa Valley. Like they're like
your mom fell for the adult version of she's gonna go live up on a farm, you know, and like she fell for the adult version of that.
Even like my mom in the back of my mind, she's like, I just hope they like pretend that they did. Like, you know, it's just one of those things. Like she's just kind of like, at least show me that. Just take a picture of where you think you're gonna lie to me about. But
it's the Big Lebowski urn. It's our least expensive receptacle.
Is there Ralph's around? And that is but no, the Democrats they don't eat like granola anymore or like anything like that. They're like, I remember for the longest time when like, because like fashion, I'm into earth tones I'm an earth tones guy. I like earth tones. I was talking about it in a little chat or something, and we were all just like, we need to like make earth tones like the kind of like RC kind of like signifier, because like everything right now libs wear like fucking the ice cream cone shirts that are like it's like a size too small. Do you remember when they finally started going outside again and their clothes didn't fit because they got fat? It was really funny time. Really funny time. Like they would have this like busted button, like weird, like oh, my shirt's got ham sandwiches on it. Like just like
it looks like they're making like a hyper realistic cake on Netflix or something, dude. You know, like one of those types of things.
I know.
Or Tyler the Creator. You know, like,
yeah. No, they all. That's the good point. They all dress like Tyler the Creator now.
Yeah.
100%, dude, yeah, they all dress like Tyler.
Bright ass primary colors and shit. Dude.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
we need an RC ice cream cone shirt just for the culture,
for sure.
Just
but it's but in earth tones.
Yeah.
I want
like a butterscotch.
Yeah, we need more earth tones. I'm a classic like terracotta with a forest green. Like I'm all in. I'm all in. I think we need to really. I want to like. I like Scott and I have talked about this too. Like that, like save the environment, like aesthetic was kind of cool, you know, like back in the 90s and like stuff like that. And everybody clowns on that stuff now. But that was only because like that was lame, you know, that was only because that was like lame. Like it just became really lame and just became Al Gore after a while. And it was like, come on, you know, like, but for a while when it was just like, when somebody would just be like, save the rainforest, you'd be like, yeah.
Well, yeah. And people got psyoped out of the real, my whole thing. I'm like a 5D chess with this shit where people are psycho about stuff now that doesn't matter. And they got psyoped out of all this extra stuff that actually does matter. Like you said, the 90s was peak that culture, but people were, you know, you're gonna get psyoped out of that because it was like anything real.
Well, like what did they get psyoped out of?
You know, like, oh, okay, so like you said, you know, like save the rainforest. You never hear anyone talk about it anymore, but that's a legit. That is an issue that I think we should try and preserve that. But now it's all just like a climate change thing, right?
Yeah,
you know, which is super amorphous. That's my whole thesis, right? Is it doesn't really mean anything. It's very biblical. It's very doomsday guy on the street corner kind of sign thing. It allows for peak stress, maximize.
It's libtard revelations.
Yeah, it's revelations. It's you're always stressed about something. You're always worried about something, but you can never do anything about it that actually means anything. You know, and so that's I guess what I mean is that like
right.
I'm all about the shit you can see with your eyes. You know that like hey, that's actually fucked up that we're doing.
Yeah, like it's fucked up that like there's trash everywhere in the city, which is like another thing they kind of like those people now kind of just turn their blind eye to.
Yeah, you have to pretend that it's
They're like, well, it's just too expensive to live here, and it's just like too expensive to find a trash can, like just like those type of things.
No one wants to be called a Karen now, you know, or they call people that actually are anti-Karen the Karens. Like remember when there was like a mom that was like, I don't want to get the fucking COVID vax. And they'd be like, oh, Karen. It's like, no, that's not a Karen, dude.
The Karen thing started from COVID. Like that, it started from that. Like now it's just like, oh, they called the police because I smashed their car window in. Fucking Karen. It's like, well, exactly. Like, all right, of course. And
it's crazy.
And you know, there's because I saw this thing. I don't know if you've been seeing it. It was very much like a Twitter thing, but there was like all these like activist people that were like abolitionist kind of people that have just been like straight up just dying lately by the thing that they've been saying isn't a big deal. Almost to the point where I'm like, is something going on? Because but also
the Scott Adams one where someone was making fun of Scott Adams.
I had to laugh at that one. I mean, like that was
come on, man.
That was I mean, like you just can't. I am so superstitious. I would never. I would just never do that. Like for what anyone who doesn't know, there was a guy. Scott Adams. There was a guy who just passed away. I don't know his name. Whatever. He was like a journalist, activist, epic. Like I'd never heard of this guy, but he.
But we all know who that guy.
Yeah, he was kind of like he would scoff at anybody who would be like, "Man, crime is like getting out of control," and like this is just like kind of like I'm not trying to say we need like Judge Dredd like crazy response. I kind of like think like the old school way is
Judge
better
Dre.
than what we're doing right now. Yeah, Judge Dre. Yeah, on the thing, policing Bart. Yeah, and and the they're kind of just like I think we moved a little backwards. We regressed a little bit with crime, which it's clear as day to see to anybody that we did that. But this guy was just like dunking on everybody, like just like, oh, you crying? What are you, pussy? Like that whole Seth Rogen thing. Like he was like a big part of that. And then like Scott Adams is just like, damn, like I've like this guy's like gonna like die soon or something. Like I could just see like something bad happening to him, which is like a weird thing to say. But like then, no joke, I think like 2 days ago, or like the guy died like a couple days ago, but like 2 days before that, he was like, wow, I guess the predictor, like psychic oracle Scott Adams really got that one right. And then he died.
Yeah.
Which is like, damn, dude. Like you just can't, like, the thing is when somebody predicts your death, you really can't ever brag about beating it, because eventually they're gonna be right. I mean, it's just statistically. I mean, it's just, and I don't like to glow. We talked about it last week. I don't like to, I don't celebrate people's death. It's like,
never, but but it's like, come on, can we talk about it? Can we talk about the Scott Adams thing? Because that is like, is it funny? I don't know. It's not unfunny.
It's not, I mean, like that part of it, it's very ironic. Like it's very, very funny. From the people who love irony.
Exactly.
You know?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, hey, I mean, the ultimate ironic bit is that happening, right?
Yeah.
Like, and but the funniest, like, the funniest thing about it is like that's like totally a generational thing too. That's like our generation and below that, like, because like even like libs that are like 50, like they don't like crime. Like they're not like my parents value the police, like, and stuff like that. Like they like them more than I do. Like, and they're card-carrying Democrats. Like it's like they think it's weird. Like my mom will talk to me, she's like, those weird, like, you know, like the Ilhan Omar, like those people, she's like, they're like really fucking it up for us, like, you know, like she like she's like, they want all this, like, abolish this, you know, do that. She's like, I just want Democrats on TV. That's like basically what they want. And but there was another guy who passed away. He got like stabbed. Unfortunately, I saw the fucking footage. I didn't know that's what it was gonna be. I thought it was like one of those Orwellian street camera like footages.
I hate that when you see it. It's like Nick Chubb's knee, dude. You're like, oh,
I know.
Dude,
which is crazy though, because like people complain about that, but can watch people die on TV, and they're like, don't show me any knee injuries. And it's like, well, you watched like an ISIS beheading on Live Leak.
No, or NFL will show like every CTE hit like straight to the dome 27 times from every angle, but a knee is involved. They're like, we're not going to show this again. That's just too much. It's so funny.
But this guy was like, I guess he was like a poet and an activist, which, anyways, moving on. He was just like outside with his girlfriend, and it's like, I don't mean to laugh at this. Like, it's not funny. It's just like, it's shocking because this dude really did practice I thought they were all lying about like not caring about crime. This guy legit didn't care about crime.
Some people are true believers. Like,
he was with his girlfriend there, and they were like walking down the street, kind of inaudibly. You hear like this just schizo guy come up, and he's just like, "Hey, motherfucker!" And like the guy's like, "Hey, chill out, man, relax," like that. And he's like just going like that, and then the guy just fucking stabs him like a bunch of times, and his girlfriend just like stands there, and she's just like, keep an eye on that guy, please, that like ran away after stabbing, like, and everybody, and like then you see like 3 black people like, hey, like, what the fuck, like that fool's dying, like it was like crazy. It was this total they were not existing in the same world. And I was like, hey, to be honest, like, I guess you practice what you preached, I guess. I mean, I feel sorry for the other people that have to suffer for your ideology, but like that, like, and again, I am not one of those people. I am not a Law and Order, like El Salvador, like, you know, that's not me. I don't know. I feel like I saw who did the COVID shutdowns. We're not that far removed from that. Like, I don't want that strong of law enforcement. I know I'm towing a line here, and nobody's satisfied with what I'm saying, but there is, like, I do think there's a happy medium for the most part.
Sounds like you're a normal dude. You know?
Right. Yeah. Like Seneca Scott's got it right. Like he's what he's him and like Jared and all them are doing in like Oakland right now. Like that's like, I think that's the right way to go about it. Like, you know, is just doing that. And it's not my number one thing, but I notice it. Like I notice it. Like I see car windows like taped up, you know, like taped and stuff. The catalytic converters get stolen, and it's like people are like, whatever, like it's fucking just a catalytic converter. Like that sucks. You can get tickets at any time. They're all back ordered like crazy, so you can't even get one. So this lady will be driving like a fucking 92 Toyota Corolla that sounds like a drag racer. Her catalytic converter's gone, And it's like, it sucks. It's not, it's like, and that's the least of it. And then like, there's just violent assaults, shoplifting everywhere. And what I will say is like, if you leave that window open, people aren't going to ever see that as progress. If you just let that keep manifesting and taking place, people aren't going to see that bottom out and go, we need more government spending, more this and that. Like, we need more government systems. No, people are going to take it in their own hands, like Death Wish style and stuff, or they're just going to be like, fuck it, let's get more police. Like, because that is the two options. Americans are hardwired in that way. And I guess like if you're one of those people that thinks China for some reason has it better, which I don't think they do, but like just go there, because I think that's the two directions America will go. Not the fucking, actually what we need to do is just like not like, you hear about those people in Oakland, like that girl in Oakland, the woman who owned the bakery, and like she got murdered and like her family was like scared to send the guy to jail. Like that's I don't everyone thinks that's insane. I don't think that's going to become the dominant ideology. I think most people are going to go hard in the other way.
Well, and in Portland, pardon me, there's been, everyone's scared of riding the Max, the light rail, you know, because people like literally like a couple years ago, people get murdered on the Max up here. It just happened a couple days ago again, dude, where someone just gets shot in the head or stabbed or something. And imagine having to ride that thing to work the day after that. Like you're just literally on the same line as someone that died. So I've heard people that were hardcore, like defund type people that are kind of like, I don't know, you know, this seems a little crazy, you know, like, only the true believers will be left at that point, which is a small percentage of even like liberal city type people, you know. And I do think there is something. I think there is, not to get all remote viewy hippie in this moment, but they're like what's that? Maharishi Institute, which is, he's the guy that was the Beatles, you know, dude, and he started some crazy, and he's like kind of a scammer too, like one of those,
sure,
and but like the people that were into his stuff, they founded this university in America, in Iowa, I think, and I met some of the people that were kind of in that circle, like higher ups, you know, or like kind of teachers or administrators there or whatever, and they were like really into this whole thing of group meditation in dangerous places, like mass, and doing studies on like we can get like 100 people meditating, you know, just basic meditation, just calm, release the thoughts, release the anger, everything like that, and we see crime rates drop. So there is like a metaphysical angle to it, I think too. I think that is an option that, again, we can't discuss because that breaks the materialist dogma paradigm,
right?
The Sam Harris thing. I think that shit's real though. I think that we probably could start to, and of course that this is just the beginning. Not saying this is going to replace cops. Not saying that we don't need to actually put people behind bars and shit. But I think that is something that, I mean, if 100 people can do that in a giant city, imagine 1,000. You know, imagine doing it every day, right? It's interesting, I think.
Well, you know, I guess to me that the problem with that is like we are just way too atomized, and there are no, like there's just less and less of communities that actually form. You have people moving, people leaving, people, nobody really like cares about each other all that much. I mean, it's just this kind of like, well, I got my little space over here, you got your little space over there and stuff, and I think that's fine. I value my privacy too and things, but like I kind of think it's cool in some of those neighborhoods where like somebody, like you go on vacation, somebody like puts your trash cans away for you, you know, like that, like that seems to be kind of leaving that, mainly because we don't even have houses in the cities and stuff. But I think that's kind of that part was leaving a little bit, and it's tough for people to do that. That's why I think they're just going to be like, fuck it, just put more cops out there. I'm tired of my fucking window. Like there's just that's what's going to happen. And
well, it's crazy. It's crazy that when my dad was a kid and a teenager, the Bay Area was prune orchards, and now it's like this shit has changed so quick, and it's like, what are we doing? You know, it's just insane. Yeah,
I know this shit was fucking Mesopotamia until like 1950.
Yeah, exactly.
like straight up, it was just like
Mesopotamia, dude.
It was just Steinbeck. It was just like Steinbeck guy with like some like hay in his mouth, like fucking and a straw hat. And he was just hey, like how's it going? And then like 30 years later, it's like oh, like huge shopping center right here. And it's like, yeah, I mean, maybe we are in just this weird interim time. If you zoom out a little bit, and like maybe we're just in this weird interim time where like everything's just a weird adjustment period. Maybe we're in the adjustment period. Which unfortunately our lives won't go longer than that. But I did see somebody talk about this the other day. Like they're like, when leftists like love to talk about privilege and stuff like that, like to care about crime and privilege, like, you know, white privilege and stuff like that. But it's like, it's kind of like way more of a privilege to just like punt like all like responsibility and morals. Like you can't operate as like a true working class person if you like don't have a like a look over your shoulder kind of feeling, you know.
If your catalytic converter gets stolen, it's $1,200 out of your pocket and you're making $30K a year, you know.
Well, see, the thing is catalytic converters should be subsidized. That's the thing. Is that the DMV, which functions really well, should provide you a catalytic converter should that get stolen. And materially speaking, there shouldn't be anybody stealing your catalytic converter for money because they would have their material needs felt. Huge gay testosterone noise leaving like air brakes after you say that.
No, I was gonna say earlier too, like who are the most pro police people are like minority grandmothers in hoods. Like, always, dude. It's crazy.
And it's just like, again, like when I'm driving, there's a cop behind me. I'm like, fuck. Like, even if I want to do anything wrong, I'm just like, fuck. Like this, I don't want this right now. Like I don't wave at them. I'm not like that type of person. But it's like the way we've hardwired society, that's the way this shit works. And it's tough for people to be like, wow, this massive change. If only we did this huge, massive uprooting of civilization right now. Then we could fix it. And it's like, no, you don't even believe that. You're just gonna vote for Democrats. Like that's all it is. And
get vaxxed though. Exactly.
Yeah, get vaxxed. That's the one thing we all need to do together. We can do it right now. That's
it's like it's like when they're like, no, for hurricane preparedness, get vaccinated. You know, that's like,
I know
what
exactly. Did you see that clip of the guy, the like leftist guy pulling the fire alarm at Congress?
I saw someone talk about it. I didn't know what happened though.
I finally I saw that like the footage is funny because it's like he's like, I was confused, and he's literally just pulling the fire thing. But
so like he did it on purpose, but pretended that it was an accident. Is that what was it?
So this is like, okay, the way he spun this, I think it sounds stupid to us. So it's Jamaal Bowman, the New York rep, and there's like a big like we're trying to vote the speaker out. Like I don't know what any of that means. But apparently there's a big vote happening, and anytime there's a big vote happening, that means democracy is happening, and therefore libs go, oh my god, democracy is just happening. Therefore, this is really exciting. And Jamaal Bowman pulled the fire alarm at
Congress.
in Congress amid potential government shutdown chaos, and reiterated his claim that his action was a simple mistake. Quote, I don't know why this has gotten so much attention, Bowman told reporters outside his office on Monday. I was literally just in a rush to go vote, man.
Just vote.
Just vote. Every like libtard that fears the democracy eroding and stuff like that, they're like, oh my god, he's willing to go to drastic measures to vote. I swear to God, we need to have a fake society for I just keep thinking about this. We need to have a fake society where they can go vote once a week, like football Sunday. They can go vote once a week. Watch Trump get arrested in like a AI generated thing. Like just watch him get arrested once a week. Also, hey, you know what? If they stay away from what I'm trying to do, subsidize minimal slop delivery. You can make it get worse and worse every day because they won't care if they don't have to leave their house. Like, because if you ever actually DoorDash anything, like it's not good. It's like it's not like, especially like oh god. Speaking of burgers, if you've ever DoorDashed a burger, I've seen it happen before. It's like punting on first down, dude. You don't even want to win the day. It's just
that's your testosterone's not.
And if it's brioche, it's already soaked up in your like jalapeno slaw that they had to put on there.
Your aioli.
I know.
Your chimichurri burger.
Your chimichurri pork belly jalapeno slaw burger, like and with Foster Farms fucking or whatever, like Rancher's Reserve stuff for $97 delivered to your house. But I would just love to create that alternate universe for them, like because they already kind of are down for it. If you've noticed.
They are, and isn't it ironic that? Well, it's funny because every real person with a brain knows that voting matters less than it ever has in history, if it ever did matter. But that the people that are so into it are obviously the deepest asleep because they have to pretend that this whole charade is real. It's just crazy. And that now, we have the strongest elections ever. That whole line. Remember that, dude? We went from the weakest to the strongest. Because just no completely objective, had nothing to do with who got elected one way or the other. Yeah, that whole thing. That was crazy to me. Yeah, that was like,
I know,
yeah.
but yeah, that's like all it is. Like this, the voting, and it's just and it's there's so much more like political theater happening. Like, and I've noticed too when I like scan the timeline. I think I would now that with like everybody can have a blue check on Twitter, so like I kind of have to like check to see if like that's really the real person saying it. But like you'll see, like I saw Ilhan Omar quote tweet Matt Gates, Gates or whatever his name is, and say cope and seethe. I was like, you should no, I like you should be removed from YouTuber speak. I think like you should be. Which again, who are Ilhan Omar's fans? YouTubers. So I mean, like I get it. Like play the hits. I get it. But and like AOC was saying like girl math and boy math, which I don't know what that means, but I know it's Twitter. So I was like, she was like doing all this like all these things, and I'm like, and then like conservatives have to play that game because like they always let like libs dictate culture. Now that's my biggest issue with conservatives is they let libs dictate humor and culture, and they just react to it. So they'll basically say like, oh, I'm then they try to speak like YouTubers, but they're from like fucking Iowa or something. So they're just like these big like GMO corn Olmec corn demon guys, like, and they just can't do it like that. So they lose.
One of my favorite Braddock posts.
Yeah. So they lose. They lose the battle because it's just like you let them turn it into YouTube slop fighting, like just and then they just lose, and then everyone's like, wow, they're so lame. Like the outsider, like they can't even riff with Ilhan Omar on Twitter. And I'm like, God, imagine caring. Like imagine really, really being like. Because like you'll see a guy, and this is like the most soy thing I've ever seen, is like you'll see like a guy in AOC's replies going like, damn, with like a gif, like you got it. It's just like why are you as a man doing this? Like it's just insane.
It's hard to, you can't, there's no way to make that post masculinely. It's just that I don't know, it's fucking weird. Do people still believe those guys are the real deal or anything? You know what I mean? Do people still believe in the squad and shit like that? That was like 4 years ago for me, where even then I didn't believe it. I was like, this seems kind of gay.
There's definitely people that do. Like there's definitely people that are like, oh, these young like up and comers, and you'll see like Patty Smith and like Joan Baez getting really excited about painting them. Joan Baez paints them and stuff. She's got her own like George Bush style painting and stuff now. And but you'll see them get excited, and then like there's other people like I think like our like millennial people, they kind of know, they're kind of like, well, it's it's like I mean. They're opening the door for like actually good leftist people. I'm like, oh great, can't wait to see what they spawn. What spawned from their fucking horrible.
Only good can come of this. Right?
No, the good stuff's coming. This is really good. You wait. And I'm like, to me the whole time I'm just like, let's just get Trump back then, because he's hilarious and great and fucking 100%. Funny. Like let's just get him back. Because that was. I want clips every day. I want to hear him speak every day. I want to.
Do you think he moonwalks back in to the White House? I know a lot of people are saying that now.
It's gonna be tough. I don't know. I'm kind of
probably. You never know how it's gonna be rigged one way or the other. You never know like what if they did this shit last time. How have they figured out to circumvent that this time?
Some people think RFK. This is like super big brain in my opinion. Some people think RFK is there to like sap votes from Trump towards Biden. Which I don't, because he's running as independent now, and
well, people always say that with the independent shit,
right? And I'm always just like, I have a hard time.
It seems more the other way, right? Like that, there's way more disgruntled independents and Democrats and leftists from COVID that are kind of like, yo, this shit's insane. I'm gonna vote for. They like seems like more
maybe
that way. I don't know.
Maybe.
But everyone's voting Biden. They're all voting Biden.
I still think Democrats are good Democrats. Like I think they still show up and vote blue. I think they do.
Do you think Jennifer Say is going to vote blue? Like maybe, I don't know,
Oh yeah,
like someone like that.
I don't think so. I don't think so. But I just mean like in general, the average person who might be like, oh, if you lost your small business to COVID, like, you're not like, you don't want to vote for the fucking governor that, the party of the governor that did that. I mean, like, I get that, but like, there's also that looming, like, Democrats do a good job of like saying that that Republicans are gonna like just force breed you like Handmaid's Tale, and like that supersedes anything. Like for them is like it's abortion and LGBT and stuff like that, and it's like all your gay friends will get slaughtered, all the fetuses will be born, and that's that. I mean, you can get mad at us, you can get mad at inflation, but like, what's more important? Having more money or gay people dying? And it's like, I don't answer that. That's rhetorical, audience. But like, just like that's the way Democrats think. And even like especially young people who want to kind of like, oh, what if we did something different? The thing that ropes them in is like, Republicans will just murder you and murder your friends, and they're out there. They're just gonna start up the KKK again, and they're gonna like burn crosses everywhere.
Complete hyperbole.
Yeah, that's all it is, and that's why I'm saying put them in the fantasy world, because let them watch that in the fantasy world. Let's put all of that stuff in there. Let's make all their dreams come true, and then we live life. Because I'm just like, they were so down to not live life in 2020.
That's the thing. And like you said, it's hard to share really anything in common with where you're just living in two different realities, and that's the thing with the conservatives. I feel like I could always talk with them about anything, and even challenge them, or just have just shoot the shit. But it can never do. You have to completely you either start some drama, or you get outcast, or you just pretend to be a totally different person to get through kind of those interactions, which is honestly what I do. I know that's beta, but it's like I don't care. I just don't want, especially in Portland. I learned the hard way. My first year here, I was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna speak my mind, and then I was like, it's not worth it. Really,
they look around, they're like, he speaks his mind. He's one of those guys that speaks his mind, if you know what I'm saying. Like, oh, you want a bunch of gay people to die, but that's just you speaking your mind. They always do stuff. You're like, damn, like fuck, like relax.
I know, dude.
Like, it's crazy.
I'm just thinking of this now. I'm sure I'm not the first to think of this, but the abortion thing and the vaccine fetus thing, has anyone dug into that? Like how are people psyoped into being pro-abortion?
I feel like Ben Braddock has. I feel like I could text him right now.
I just thought of that now. I'm like, is that like because we know that that's like a market. There's a market for fetuses for vaccine research and shit. And right?
Yeah, what if, dude,
like stem cells?
Because Bill Gates has to have that going. Like he has to be like, okay, like we need X amount of like terminated pregnancies to create X amount of vaccines. Yeah, he's on his Excel. Or whatever word. Then he's just like, so if we just abort this many babies this month, that creates this many boosters. And then if we try to mandate, can you call Congress, see if they can mandate that shot? Yeah, great. That'd be great. and then that I think this is how I win, and that's a good point. Cause I know people like, on more of the conservative side of people that I know, like really like, biblical Christian people that like straight up were anti-vaccine because of the fetus stuff.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, fuck it. Hey, fuck it.
Hey,
what
are you gonna do?
Yeah. And I saw a really funny tweet, and I thought this was a parody account, but this is somebody who apparently says they have words in the Washington Post and other places. What does MPH stands for? I mean, I know miles per hour, but is it like a doctor thing too? MPH?
Oh, yeah, that's some dumb degree.
Well, that tracks. Because this person said, I think so. There was this is a very true complaint that this person is responding to in a negative way, but this is the original tweet is true. This person says, COVID killed 24-hour businesses, and I hate it so much. Very true. Filthy Armenian, my friend. Guy wakes up at like 5 p.m. so he needs everything to be open until like 2 and 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. Like so, like he really like him and I when we were walking around in San Francisco, we could not find a cup of coffee at like 9 p.m. It was crazy. I'm like, this is San Francisco.
Yeah,
this is San Francisco, and this lady, Mrs. MPH or whatever, her name's Gabrielle A. Perry. Not to be confused with Gabrielle Perry, so you have to put the middle initial, I suppose. And she says, I think people forget that millions of people are dead. COVID killed millions of people. It is the third leading cause of death in the United States. What's the second one, by the way? Is it medical malpractice still?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyways, the workforce who used to handle these hours are now dead. and then she had to go the follow-up tweet. She had to thread it because she goes, everyone is now dead or has long COVID. And I feel like that cannot be reiterated enough. Millions of people are dead. And I'm just like, that is insane. Because like, it is insane, like to have that because that's a way for you to notice decay in society, but then be like, wow, everyone died of COVID. Like that is because I thought it was fake. I was like, that's actually a really funny. Like, actually, everyone died. That's why. Do you notice there's no people? Like, when you go outside, did you notice the lack of people? It's like, no, there's still a bunch of fucking people. Like, but it was that is hilarious, man. I just like because everyone notices it, and that's the thing. Because that's the Karen debate is like anytime you comment on any kind of bad service, it's a Karen thing. So it's like it's essentially a way to get people to stop commenting on the decay of just like stuff that we enjoyed, fun little things that we did. Like you don't want to lean too much on people serving you food for your whole life. Like you don't want to do that. Like I understand. I do roll my eyes at people who like freak out. I know I do it almost every episode, but like I try to be funny about it at least. But
this is your vent too. You don't do it in the moment.
Half of the time, the butt of the joke is, "Why am I here?" Like
100%.
I'm
Larry David.
Like I'm so fucking stupid. I shouldn't have done that. Like, why did I come to the public market? And no, I mean the public market actually was really fun. I just the price was just insane. It was just insane. And but like people can, because like, dude, if you go to a restaurant, it's not just white people complaining.
No.
Like, to be honest, if you ask any server about who tips, there's a way different. The Quran does not tip. It's not Karen, it's Quran, and that's the one. I mean, look, there's Karen. There's the Karen archetype. It exists. It's real. We've all seen it. But like, it's just this weird thing of like anybody who's like older, perhaps white woman or something, who do tend to vocalize and be first on a lot of things about sensing something not being right. But that's meant to just stop that. But this Gabrielle plays found a way. It's like, service does suck now. But you ever think about maybe getting vaccinated? Did you ever think about that? You ever think about going to CVS? Oh wait, nobody can serve you the shot at CVS because they're dead. Yeah. It's like, are you complaining about your the mail that didn't arrive today? Well, your mailman's dead. Because he died because you.
Labor took a hit. It's like one of those.
I know. It's like It's like, oh, you ever think about that? Well, you want to go to the movies today? Nope, there's no movies playing. All the actors are dead and they're on strike. Like, which I guess the strike is over. Which that's cool.
Also, you thought it came out of a lab.
There is no labs because all the scientists are dead.
Strike. Wait, strike's over. Tell me all about. I need to hear about how the strike got resolved. And I was kidding. I don't know.
No, I don't know.
I'm sure it's really a great story, dude.
No, I know. And the only thing I'm waiting on is the Shards, dude. The Shards HBO miniseries.
You think it's actually gonna happen?
Well, it got announced. I don't think they ever started production, so hopefully the schedules line up. But I gotta have the Shards, man. I gotta have the Shards.
Who's gonna play him?
I don't know. It's funny because like that book, if you've read it, it has to. The cast cannot be diverse. Like it can't. It literally is about rich kids at like the most pretentious school of all time.
Are you're listening syndicated on Patreon?
On Patreon.
Cool.
It's phenomenal. But like it's also unedited, so it's like which I like. It's all just it's before like it was published in a book, so it's pretty cool to hear everything. But it's just funny. It has to like if it gets made, it has to be like based kind of like it'll have like enough graphic gay sex to where libs will be like, this is amazing, and
it's another one of those HBO border, like the White Lotus, one of those borderline shows,
right?
Where it's kind of like, it's like it draws
No,
people in.
and it's I don't even rely on its messaging. I just think it's a really good story and stuff, but it'll be I don't know. I mean, you can't have again like there's not going to be Mexican kids at Buckley High. Like there's not going to be. There's not going to be Latinx. There's not going to be like Hapa, fucking black and Asian hybrid kids. Like maybe there are now, but like not in the 80s, not in 1981. Like these are like people whose like dads like produced Hollywood movies and stuff. And so that I'm looking forward to. And also just more Colbert. I've seen the commercials on like football games for like because those are the same networks but where the networks put like the late shows are back now, thank God. But Jimmy Fallon's like, I have a real gray beard now because I haven't done this in years. And just like my Trumperino jokes, man, I can't wait. Like
those shows wasn't everyone's cup of tea, like Letterman and Leno, but they used to be cool, at least, dude. They used to be like you could watch it and be like,
Jack talks about it all the time. Like if you watch like 70s like late night TV, like Dick Cavett and all that stuff, like people it'll be celebrities just drunk on there and just being like fucking bitch, like and it'll be like Hugh Hefner debating a feminist. Like,
but everyone's still 10 times smarter and they're dropping bars too. It's kind of
amazing. Like Dick Cavett would be like where all the Beatles would come on individually and talk shit about each other. Like in the 70s, it was awesome.
George Harrison ones are the best.
Dude. When he talks about John and Yoko, it's amazing. And so it's like, but now it's just like, here's the producer of this Netflix show that's not going to be on by the time this airs. It's going to be a 1-season thing. Like here's the writer, she's on, and then she's like, oh hi, so happy to be here, Jimmy. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Like and then that's the show. And great. I'm so glad that the writers got what they wanted. Can I get what I want? Can I? Isn't there someone you forgot to ask? The person that watches this shit. Isn't there someone like, please start making good stuff, like good in real time stuff that I can watch and we could talk about on here and enjoy and not have to, there's a couple good things. I enjoy that. People are going to laugh because it's like the most like woke casting thing, but that show Foundation on Apple is good. I like that.
I've been meaning to check that.
It's tight. It's based off the Asimov series. And it works. Like it works for me. Like it's cool. And like there is good stuff. I hope we get Severance back. I hope we get Severance. But mainly we need new Travis Kelce commercials and Taylor Swift on
what do you the timing of all this, there has to be some sort of play here.
I think it's for him.
For him?
Yeah. I think he first off, like, okay. It's Travis Kelce, NFL player. You look at Taylor Swift, it's like that's who you went for. I mean, like just as a guy, you look at that, you're kind of like, I don't know. It just seems like, wow, I'm just really in love with this 34-year-old singer-songwriter, like, as a tight end in the NFL. But then like the NFL just goes full on like we're Swifties, like, and they're like 2-0 as Swifties, like changing the NFL Instagram bio. It's cringe watching like Chris Collinsworth, like, oh, there's Taylor Swift up in the booth. Oh man, I love her song, the Macarena, and you're like, that's not.
I love Collinsworth on any game except for a fucking Chiefs game. Dude. It's like that's when I have to tune CC out, dude.
I know,
because it's
it's rough. But that's all it is. That's like all football is now, is like the Chiefs and Taylor Swift and Pfizer. You're just like, wow, my favorite things.
I know.
Like, wow. I don't even have a strong opinion of Taylor Swift. The problem is, stop showing it to me. That's not what I'm watching the NFL for. It is a joke. And if you listen to these NFL podcasters now, like, because it becomes this like silly little joke for these NFL podcasters to be like, to like pretend that they're like diehard. I don't know if they're pretending, but they're like, my top 10 Taylor Swift songs are like this. And it's like, shut up. Like it's not, you don't have to address this. This isn't something that you have to. This isn't something that you have to like propagate or like just be like, oh, it's so cool that Taylor Swift's on TV. It's so cool that she's dating Travis Kelce. I don't care. First off, they've been dating for like a month, and she's in the booth with his mom.
I know.
Like,
that's weird.
That's
dude.
real for sure. Real. Yeah.
That's weird.
I mean, and then he's now he's got a bunch of commercials. I think it's for him because now he's got a bunch of commercials. A whole new fan base found out about him now. You know, like
I need to know the size of that check. And I need to know whether he got the placebo or not. That's the first thing. The only thing that comes to my mind.
He got the real thing.
The real,
he's on the fucking Chiefs.
Yeah.
And
also,
he did not. He got the real thing. Like I saw Aaron Rodgers called him Pfizer boy today or whatever.
Dude, I forgot about the Rodgers thing, dude.
Totally. He was like, you can't do that on a blown Achilles though. Like you gotta that's my thing is like you gotta be out there playing. That's my like I appreciate the sentiment. I agree. Cause like, dude, the fucking bandages of Travis Kelce, the bandages were the color of the Ukraine flag.
They were? I didn't even notice that.
It's insane. It's like he has the mustache, and he's like Pfizer, and then it's a blue bandage and a yellow bandage because I think he got the flu and the thing, which is the new thing where you get the flu booster and the Pfizer. Like, come on. Like, it's just come on. Yeah, I meant to send that one to Max Blumenthal. I'm sure he saw it, but I'm sure he saw it. But yeah, it's just insane, man. Like, come on. Like, I don't know. I'm such a purist with it. Like, it's fine if you want to show her once. Oh my gosh, they're dating. Okay, great. It's not the first fucking NFL guy that's dated a celebrity before, by the way. That like goes. Tony Romo was with Jessica Simpson, and they did show that they did like go into that a lot, but it wasn't like there wasn't like a huge social media there where like it was just like
it was more like this is weird.
It was kind of annoying, and then everybody like would, you know, he was the Cowboys quarterback, so they'd be like, oh, Jessica Simpson's better than Tony Romo at quarterback. Like people would like use that, but it's just just please leave this bullshit out of football. Like and then like now like the weird like Taylor Swift people who like I want to say are Zoomers, but I'm the online people that like try to cancel you. But I have a suspicious belief that it's like 47-year-old women.
It's like Disney adults is what it is.
Disney adults.
And I'm sorry, like I'm starting to. I think Chiefs getting, and again, we don't have to dive into this, but Chiefs getting ref calls in the final 2 minutes of the game has reached peak mass consciousness where everyone is kind of talking about it now. They're like, okay, what? Like the talking NFL talking heads can't like ignore it anymore. You know, it's kind of like one of those things. Everyone's got to address it.
I think God doesn't want me to watch football anymore. I think is what's happening. I think I am the curse of the Las Vegas Raiders. They will never win while I watch them. They will never win. The minute I quit watching football, they will win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They will win a Super Bowl, and I'll like try to eke my way. And but if I eke my way in the door, they will lose a pivotal game. So like I'll have to like watch from afar, almost remote, like psychically.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like remote.
I might have to remote view the actual game, like to watch it, and because God is looking. He's like, you have these piles and piles of books. They don't even fit on your bookshelf. Read more. Do this. Do your show. Stop wasting time on football. And I get it. The fucking sports ball people. Yeah, it's so true. No, shut up. Like this is a crossroads of my life. And I'm like, when I watch it, I'm like, this is designed to make me want to claw my eyes out. What I have to watch every week that I look forward to, sadly. So therefore, like when I see like Taylor Swift going like, like waving at Travis Kelce with like Pfizer band-aids on, it's like, it's Glenn, stop watching football. Like that's like it's God saying like, I can make this crazier if you'd like.
Exactly. I
can have Travis Kelce rape you. Like I'll pop out of the TV and rape you with a syringe. Like I can do that if you'd like. Like it will get there. Like some Videodrome shit. Like I swear, like, cause it is getting that way. But I understand like 5 of our listeners will really value what we just said there. Shout out Doug and Ryan and the boys. But like, other than that, I don't care. Next week, hopefully, don't want to count our eggs before they hatch, but or chickens before they hatch, not egg. Of course you would count your eggs before they hatch. But we have a guest that I won't name, but should be really fun. Love the guy's YouTube channel. It's sick as fuck.
Yeah. Oh man,
It's sick as fuck.
I did a deep dive today. It was great. Yeah,
He's amazing. He's amazing. And so hopefully that comes to fruition. He's a manifester. We're a manifester, so I can't see why.
Definitely an RC, like checks all the RC boxes.
Yeah, no, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like,
I have a lot of questions already.
Yeah,
bro.
I have a lot of questions. So hopefully we're able to get that in. So that'll be next week. This weekend is actually, I will say this: these guys are great, and I don't even like the qualifier. I was gonna say I don't even want to make it sound like I thought they were gonna be bad, but it was just such a mystery because I had 2 horror books that a couple months ago I said, does anyone want to hop on an episode of each for Gain of Fiction Horror Month?
Yeah.
And it was 2 people that I like kind of knew, saw on the timeline, but like they were like, I'll do it. And I'm kind of like, shit, hopefully these guys can speak, like on a show. They were both amazing. Shout out to Pody and Nate. We did Richard Matheson's 1973 horror novel, basically erotic horror novel called Hell House. And it's amazing. It's like a parapsychology, like horror novel. Amazing book. That's this weekend on the Substack feed. Again, rarecandy.substack.com. We'd appreciate it if you subscribed. We will make it worth your time, I promise. You got some red pills coming.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big month. I'm hoping to get 3 this month.
Right,
sure I got them drafted. Yeah, so
and then we are going to have another thing as soon as I get it into the Substack. Another thing about action heroes, which is cool. It'll kind of go into what we talked about with Mike Gray. Guest submission, very great piece coming in, and other than that, everybody have a safe week. We will catch you guys next week, hopefully with a really fun guest.